everybody. Welcome to Aberrations in the Wild. You may notice that today I'm by myself. I don't have anybody with me today. So I'm sure if you follow us at all that you know that we haven't recorded anything for a while. So I thought I would give a little update on that. Cecil is okay. He hasn't been doing so well. He's had some heart trouble. He had to have a stent put in his heart, and the surgery went well, but the timing wasn't good, and so he didn't get all of the benefits from that he should have received. He was put on a waiting list. Luckily, he found a cardiologist who is going to got him looked at a little sooner than he would have been, and he's going to have a valve replacement on Tuesday. So if we could keep Cecil in our prayers and just send good thoughts to him, he's doing good mentally. He's in a good spot. Excuse me. I just spoke with him earlier today. He said to tell everybody hi, and he will be back. He'll be back soon, and we'll be back to talking about Bigfoot and all of those fun things that we like. So today, since I'm flying solo, I thought I would touch base on something a little different. Asked around, what do people want to hear? And one of our faithful listeners, who we've mentioned before, Donna, hey Donna, asked about all of the UFO stuff that was going on. And it's a great idea. I've been wanting to talk about some of these things and just kind of give my perspective on it and why I think people should pay attention. So what we're going to do today is a little different than what we usually do on Aberrations in the Wild. We speculate a lot. In fact, that's what we do. We speculate. We talk about facts in quotations, because when you talk about Bigfoot, there are no facts. We don't have a Bigfoot. I wish I did, but we don't. So facts are not really something you can, we have, I call it Bigfoot trivia. What does a Bigfoot footprint look like? Well, we know what people say it looks like, and we know what the ones we've seen, but we can't say it's fact because we don't have the Bigfoot. But today we're going to talk about facts, and we're going to talk about all of the recent UFO things and just dig into a little bit of the facts. And again, there's no speculation here. There is no, I think this is what's happening, or this is what I heard. These are going to be facts, okay? And I think that's important to know. I had a discussion with a girl the other day, and she just kept saying, well, it's stupid. I said, what do you mean it's stupid? The UFOs, all of that stuff is just stupid. She's like, I don't understand it, so it's just stupid to me. And that was kind of eye-opening to me, because there are some really interesting things happening right now, and I think I want to talk about why that's important. Giorgio Tsoukalos, the guy from Ancient Aliens with the hair, you always see the meme, he's like, aliens. He opens one of his shows. It's called In Search of Aliens, and in the beginning of the show, he says that he exists between facts and speculation, and that's where he lives. And that's a lot of fun. I like those shows. I put them on to go to sleep. Ancient Aliens as well, just stuff in the background, right? It's fun. It's not drama. I guess it would be categorized as reality TV, but it's not reality TV. I turn on the TV to get away from reality. That's why I like the things that I like. Having said that, Congress just had a congressional hearing, and I'm sure that people have heard about this. This was in June. A commander, a retired commander in the Air Force, David Grush, came out and said that he saw stuff. Let me rephrase. He didn't say he saw stuff. He said he had investigated people who saw things. Now, when I say that, David Grush is not just a guy that was in the Air Force that's like, oh, some dude told me. His job is to look into things like this. Black budgets, where's the missing money? What's this? He's got a top secret clearance. He's got the highest level clearance. And the guy is trustworthy. Things about his past have come out. But the fact is, we all have a past, and not only has he moved forward, he still has his clearance, his top secret clearance. So whatever he had episode with his wife, and who hasn't had some kind of thing where they acted out of character, but he received he still has his clearance. So whatever it wasn't too awful bad, because you don't get top security clearance if you're a whack job. A lot of things have been said that maybe he might be on some kind of autistic spectrum. I don't see how that affects anything. Again, he's a retired military guy with a top secret clearance. So, yeah, the guy's he's not just making stuff up. So he says that he talked to people that have actually physically touched a UFO. He's talked to people that have seen, he won't say aliens, he says non-human biologics. Pretty vague term. So he's kind of brought all this to light, and he requested a congressional hearing to look into this, because if there are aliens out there or UFOs or whatever it is, there's something out there. And I'm sure you've noticed it's becoming more commonplace. Like if you went out to the store tomorrow and you're like, oh, did you hear a UFO finally landed in LA? Somebody would be like, really? It's a slowly accepting the process is kind of what's happening. Excuse me. So in this congressional hearing, we had a couple of people who spoke. David Grush, of course, we've talked about him. And he's like, if you've heard the term whistleblower recently, UFO whistleblower, that's who they're talking about. He went through all of the right channels for whistleblower protection. And what that means is that this man went to the Pentagon and said, I want to talk about this stuff. And the Pentagon said, okay. The Pentagon did not say, it's true, it's not true, we support what you're saying. They didn't say any of that. They said, you can talk about that stuff. First time that's ever happened, right? With whistleblower protection, that means he doesn't have to worry about retaliation for saying these things. He's had retaliation, but he's protected. He can't, basically he's like, I will give you all of this information. I don't want to be roasted, which he's been roasted. I don't want to be, I want to be taken seriously. That has happened. So a congressional hearing happens. We have a few people that come out and talk. And again, I'm sorry, I'm kind of jumping around, short on time today, and I just wanted to get this information out there. So one of the guys that talks, his name is Commander David Fravor. This guy is a commander in the Black Aces Squadron. He's not a joke. You don't become a commander of a fighter jet squadron if you're a whack job, if you're prone to exaggeration. This guy and his squad recorded an actual UFO. They reported it. And the Pentagon, again, the Department of Defense, has released this video There's actually 3 videos, 3 different ones. There's a go fast, there's a gimbal, and there's a tic tac. Not TikTok, tic tac. And the UAP looks like a tic tac, but it's doing things that we can't do. We don't have anything that can do that. Again, I'm just telling you the facts, and I'm calling these facts because this stuff was sworn under oath in a congressional hearing in June of this year. So I feel comfortable saying these are facts. They're facts. It's basically a court of law. And these people risk, if they're found to be lying, prison time. It's perjury. Serious consequences for lying. And these guys have not wavered one bit. Again, retired commander. You've got retired top security clearance. They're not going to make stuff up and risk their entire career to say, about UFOs, unless there's something there. Last person to speak, we have Ryan Graves. He's a lieutenant Navy pilot. The guy flies F-18s. The guy's also the co-founder of the Americans for Safe Aerospace. I don't think that guy is making stuff up. He's co-founder of the Americans for Safe Aerospace. He's an F-18 fighter pilot, lieutenant. All 3 of these guys have seen things, and they said, I've seen, and I don't want to put words in their mouth. I'm encouraging you to look into this. This is why we're talking about it today. I don't want to tell you what's going on. I want to tell you what happened and who was involved, so you can look for yourself. Am I saying aliens are coming? Nope. Am I saying UFOs are here? No. I'm saying there's something. People are seeing something. Our own pilots, the guys that are up there, are going, yep, there's something there. We could talk all day long about UFO sightings and things like that, and that's fun. And if you guys want to hear that, I would love to do that. Just let me know, put it in the comments, whatever. We can talk UFOs all day long. I have so many good stories with decent evidence, going all the way back to the 40s over Washington, D.C. Thousands of rounds of artillery fired at UFO over Washington, D.C. I think that was in 1952. And then the next day they're like, yeah, that was a balloon. Oh, okay. Sorry, Cecil. Again, that's speculation. That's a different chapter for a different day. Today we're talking about facts. So the facts are, Congress had this hearing. Representative Tim Burchett from Tennessee, he's a congressman, and he's really pushing for this. I'm not so sure of his background, so I don't want to speak out of pocket and give him some credentials or something that he shouldn't have. But he is a congressman from Tennessee, and he's pushing this as well. He realizes that there's something there, and it needs to come out, whatever it is. I think a lot of times people say, well, if the American people couldn't handle it, maybe, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't know. If there's a serial killer loose in my neighborhood, I might freak out. I might not be able to handle that, but I need to know. If there's a wild monkey in my neighborhood, I need to know. I might laugh about it. I might freak out. I might be scared of monkeys and go hide in my closet for a week, but I still deserve to know that it's out there, whatever it is, especially if they have the information. And I'm saying they have the information because nobody is saying, stop talking. Nobody. Other than people who have special interest. And again, that's speculation. I'm not going into that. This happened. While this was happening, we have, and I don't want to get into politics, but what I will say is we have Republicans and Democrats, conservatives and liberals, actually working together in 2023 on this topic. Why is that? Ronald Reagan said that he felt if we had a threat from another world, that it would finally cause our civilization to put our differences aside and work towards a common goal. That's kind of happening here. If you know who AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, is, she's pretty progressive Democrat, but there's no arguing on these. There's legitimate questions. The committees, the people doing the questioning, they're not making these witnesses. They're not trying to make them look like a fool. They're dragging them through the dirt about their history and their past, but they're not trying to make them look silly. They're not making a mockery of this. And almost any time in our past, when anyone has tried to report what they saw, what they heard, what somebody said, it's made into a mockery, you know. And that's unfortunate. Why is that? I don't know. I don't have those answers. And it's a long-winded way for me to say, you know, that people are looking at this. And I've given you a lot of names and a lot of titles. And the reason for that is because it's legit. Here's the other thing. And this is the part that gets me thinking and gets me wanting people to pay attention. Not because I'm saying that aliens are going to land on the White House lawn. Probably not the best place to land anyway. I don't think it would do them much good. Anyway, now you have people under oath, risking perjury in a congressional setting, talking about these things, being taken seriously, and it's being reported on the news. Not all the news channels are reporting it the same way, of course. They never do. But they're reporting it. They're talking about it. And now it can't go back. You can't put this back in the box. Once you say, yeah, we've seen things, and I'm talking about not even these three guys. I'm talking about the Pentagon. The Pentagon saying, yeah, well, there's stuff out there that we don't know what it is. And in fact, here's some videos of it. We don't know what it is. That's something. That's something. And you can't go from there and go, yeah, we have all these high-ranking officials who have seen and heard and know things. And they're risking their career and their livelihood and their family to tell you about it. You can't go from that and go, nah, it was all weather balloons. We were wrong. You can't go backwards from here. Something is going to come out. Something is going to eventually, we're going to know something. The speculation, yeah, it could be from another planet. They could be drones. They could be robots. They could be smoke. If you've seen Arrival with Amy Adams, they're just smoke. That's not important. They could be humans from the future coming back. That's just some speculation for you. It could be another interdimensional. It could be, and a lot of people seem to think that's what it is. It's us from another time. It's all speculation. I don't know. But we're going to know because it's out there now. Joe Rogan has had some of these guys on his podcast. If you know me, you know that I like Joe Rogan. That doesn't lend any kind of lend any kind of credit to what they're saying, but it does lend the amount of people that are hearing what they're saying. If you follow the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, is one of the biggest podcasts out there, and that song that just came out was that Oliver, the Richmond, north of Richmond. Joe Rogan posted that video on Instagram, and it blew up immediately. The guy, he reaches a large fan base. there is so much that could potentially be said, and I don't want to do that today. I'm not going to keep going. I'm not going to go super long-winded, because there's not a lot for us to discuss other than these things are happening. Watch, keep your eyes open, see how it's playing out. When someone says UFO, UAP, why did they change the name? I don't know why they changed the name. UFO, unidentified flying object. You got that? It's easy for you to say. UFO, unidentified flying object. A UAP is an unidentified aerial phenomenon. Kind of the same thing. I mean, if it's flying and it's an object and you don't know what it is, it's a UFO by definition. A UAP, unidentified aerial phenomenon, that could be lightning. It could be a weird, undescript cloud form. I'm so sorry. A cloud formation, right? If you can't figure out what it is, it's unidentified. If it's in the air, it's aerial, and it's phenomenon. We don't know what it is. Unidentified aerial phenomenon. Same thing, little different verbiage. I think that happened. Now, I'm speculating here. The first time I heard that term, UAP, was by Hillary Clinton during Barack Obama's administration. She was on one of the late night shows, Conan or Fallon or something like that. And she used the term UAP as the first time I heard it. And then that was the term. We know that our media and our government like to use talking points, and they use repetitive language. I'm sure you've seen where they're put together on YouTube and things like that, where they're using the same type of words, like all these different news sources using the same exact words. Trump was big for it. Sleepy Joe, things like that. But they use the same terms. So once you start hearing about UAPs, at the same time is when the information started to ease out a little bit and start to become more open knowledge, more common knowledge, and less, I think when you see UFO written, you automatically go to what we've always heard of UFOs: crazy people, redneck farmers behind their barn seeing something in the sky. And here's a question: why does that make them less credible? That farmer that's out by his barn knows what the sky looks like. He knows what his field looks like. He knows what the wood line looks like, and he knows when it's different. He might not know why. I would actually probably take his word for the lights he saw in the sky over the guy that lives in the city and doesn't look up at the sky very often. You got a lot of light pollution in the city. On a clear night, you're not used to seeing those stars. You see an airplane up there in the stars. What is that? The farmer out there in his field. He might not know how to read and write, but he knows what's different. He knows what's different. I had an uncle that ran a dairy farm in Tennessee. He was blind, but he knew when something wasn't right, and he usually knew what it was because that's his land. I trust his word. Me coming down there from Ohio, something's not right up there. Well, maybe not. I'm not used to being there. I want people to pay attention. I don't want people to worry over it. There's nothing to worry. Whatever this is has been there for a long time. This is not new. There's a lot of fear mongering. Why? I don't know. I'm asked sometimes when I talk about these things, well, why would they do that? Without knowing what it is, we don't know why. Speculation. If you listen to Elon Musk, the UFOs could do things. They may be able to provide free energy. Free energy. No power lines going to your house. No electric bill. Sounds good to us, but the people that charge you for the electric and the people that maintain the power lines, they don't like that idea. That's a speculation. So they would want to make you feel like a kook. but it's getting to the point where it's going to have to be acknowledged, whatever it is. It could be nothing. It could be something. We just deserve to know. So I'm asking you that when you do hear things come up, just look at it. My friend at work the other night, I felt bad for her because I could tell as we discussed it, she was getting anxious. And I said, you don't have to be scared about it. And I think that upset her. It was obvious, though, that her defensiveness and her, this is stupid, it's just stupid. There's no way that aliens coming into our world is just a stupid thing, and it doesn't mean anything. Unless you are very scared and you just don't want to accept it. So the reason I'm doing this podcast, and I know I'm long-winded and I'm rambling, I'm used to having Cecil doing all the good talking over there, and I just interject my funny when I can, at least what I think is funny. Pay attention. Listen. Don't judge. When you hear things, don't be like, oh, that's just stupid, or that guy's an idiot, or this is all real. Don't judge it. Don't even try to understand it necessarily, but pay attention. Because it's going to affect our day-to-day somehow. I don't know how, but it's going to affect our day-to-day. I've been asked, why do you watch this UFO stuff if you're a Christian? And I am a Christian. I have Bible verses tattooed right there. Because it doesn't negate anything. Jesus said, I am the shepherd and you are my flock. I have other sheep that are not of this flock. You don't know about them, but I'm their shepherd too. So that right there tells me I don't have to be worried about it, and I don't have to understand it. Lean not on your own understanding. I don't have to understand it, but I need to pay attention. I need to watch. The Vatican said that they don't. I'm Christian. I'm not Catholic, but the Vatican said they wouldn't rule it out. It doesn't have to be terrifying. It doesn't mean everything we know is going to change. A lot of things we know are going to change, probably, hopefully for the better. I think people are afraid sometimes that if there's aliens, that means an alien invasion. If they wanted to invade us, they wouldn't fly over our cities with their headlights on, you know? Doesn't mean that they're friendly and harmonious, because they may not even have those emotions. They may not have emotions, period. It could be mechanical. But if they wanted to just destroy us, it would have already been done. So there's that. Pay attention. And just don't assume it's all hooey. It may not be. I'm going over my time. My sister's going to be upset with me keeping her here. Please do me a favor. Please think about Cecil. Maybe even poke a comment down here. He's going to be in the hospital, and then he's going to be in recovery. So it would be good for him to have a little love coming to him in the comments if you feel inclined to do so. If you'd like to see more about the UFO stuff, let me know. Because I would enjoy doing that. But, you know, if nobody's really interested in that, or if it doesn't tickle your podcast, whatever, then I won't do it. I want to thank each and every one of you that watch this. It means so much to me when I'm hanging out with someone and they say, when's the podcast? It means so much. I was leaving to go to work the other day, and my neighbor across the street said, are you going to record? Oh, it just lit me up, because I'm like, really? You're looking forward to it? It's a lot of fun for us to do. It's a little bit of work, but it's not hard work. It's fun work, you know. We're only in here once a week, so we have time to kind of prepare and think about what we want to talk about. But we don't plan our shows. We don't sit down like, we're going to talk about this, we're going to talk about this. My brain doesn't work that way, and Cecil's brain doesn't work that way. And we just kind of bounce things off one another. Ryan enjoys doing it, my son. I got a lot of good feedback on that one. I didn't think today's was appropriate for him, though, because it can be a little scary, especially if you're 9. So I didn't bring Ryan into this one. He will probably do an episode with me next week here in studio while Cecil is recovering. Get a little more content out there. If there's something specific you would like to see Ryan and I talk about, please put that in the comments as well. And we'll do our best to do that. If not, I'll have a good episode for us next week. So today is September 7th. I had to check my watch. I work nights. They all run together. Today is September 7th. It's a Thursday. I don't know which day this will upload, but I can tell you that there will be more information between now and then. It keeps coming out in little bursts. News Nation covers quite a bit of it, but they also kind of overdo it a little bit where, they'll put out those 5-minute segments and they're just reiterating the same thing that they said yesterday. But they do have a lot on there. If you're looking for any kind of specific information, please feel free to reach out to me. If you're watching this, you probably know how to get a hold of me. And I can get you more information or where to find that information. We can discuss it. I can do more podcasts on it. I just want the information to get out there, and I want it to get out there in a cut and dry way. I could have talked about this 10 different ways from sundown. But what's important, congressional hearing, legitimate people telling legitimate stories, legitimately, under risk of perjury to their careers. Lieutenant, a commander, and a major. Those aren't easy to come by. If you feel like liking it, like it. If you feel like subscribing to us, subscribe. You don't have to, because if you're a friend of mine, I'm probably sending you the link anyway. I hope you enjoy what we do, and I thank each and every one of you for listening and for making it feel worthwhile, because it means a lot to us to do it. Keep Cecil in your prayers. He's a great, great, great guy. We've become very close friends very fast, and I care about the guy. So if you could keep him in your prayers, thoughts, send him a little love note or something. If you want to know a different way to get a hold of him, reach out to me. You can also email us, wildaberrations@gmail.com. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend, a great September, and I will see you soon next week. Thanks.